the research at SFG is really at the cutting edge of this question of translating fisheries and marine science into practical solutions. The Sustainable Fisheries Group was formed in 2006 as a collaboration between Dr. Steve Gaines and Dr. Chris Costello. And they came together with the idea of bringing economics and ecology into one research group to help see how they could use the tools from those two different disciplines to help provide sustainable fishery solutions that benefit oceans and people.
Fisheries are extremely complex systems, and they involve not only the organisms in the water like corals and fish and sea turtles, but also people who are fishing them, the communities that rely on these fisheries for their families and for their livelihoods. And all over the world, when you talk with fishermen or with fisheries managers on the ground, the trends are that there's just not as much fish, or the fish are much smaller. And so I think the big motivation for us working on these problems is that they're immensely challenging, and you have to take an interdisciplinary approach, because if you try to think about these problems with just thinking about the fish or just thinking about the people, chances are you're going to miss the whole problem.
By far the biggest two challenges facing the oceans right now are fisheries overexploitation and climate change. And it's the small-scale coastal fisheries in the developing tropics often where fisheries continue to be on the decline. They have immense importance for local food security and for local livelihoods. If you care about the millions and millions of people who either rely on fish for protein or rely on fishing for their livelihoods, those futures are at risk if you deplete those small-scale coastal fisheries.
Small-scale fisheries tend to have very limited information, mainly because they're not as valuable, and as a consequence it's hard for the fishermen or the agencies that manage them to be able to invest in the key kinds of data collection. So we spent a lot of time coming up with new ways to estimate the status of fish stocks, utilizing far less information.
SFG uses a range of tools and approaches, including spatial modeling, bioeconomic modeling, fisheries forecasting. One of the important things is that we work in places like California, where there's a lot of data and information, and then places abroad where there might be far less information. And so we're trying to come up with new approaches and tools to help those small-scale fisheries be more sustainable over the long term, and to empower the people in those communities to manage them themselves.
Being located at Bren and in Santa Barbara in general is a fantastic opportunity for collaboration for the Sustainable Fisheries Group. Inside Bren itself, we're able to work with leading experts in marine science, with economics, with social science, and we work with a wide variety of NGOs, of government organizations, of private industry, of fishermen. And so it's a fantastic opportunity to kind of see marine conservation and fishery science from the view of so many different people.
So the Sustainable Fisheries Group has faculty from the Bren School, and then we have researchers that are affiliated with the Bren School and the Marine Science Institute, including grad students, postdocs, researchers, and project managers.
Everybody can bring something different to the table. Okay, our partners bring a lot of on-the-ground expertise, so we don't have to build up capacity in Peru and Chile and Ecuador and Indonesia, but we can rely on our partners to build up that capacity. One of the great things that we bring is our students and our faculty and our international collaborators on the research front. And because we have those partnerships, we're able to ask questions in a different way, in a more compelling way, that we wouldn't ask without those partners.
I'm really excited about the research coming out of SFG because it's focused on solutions. And there's a lot of discussion about the challenges that the world faces in terms of overfishing and unsustainable practices in the way we interact with the sea. But there also are a lot of good solutions. And so that's what gets me excited, is how we can identify what new solutions are, think about ways to get them implemented more rapidly, and champion the solutions that people have come up with in different parts of the world so that they can grow faster than the problem grows.